their defense was extremely physical. We knew it going in. We thought that that was the best part of their football team, and they certainly showed it tonight. Um, I thought our kids played extremely hard. Had too many penalties in the second half that came back to haunt us. Took the lead there in the fourth, and they ended up going down the field and scoring on us. We helped them with penalties, which is we can't do, but very disappointing to lose tonight because it certainly felt like we had our chances to win and felt like that the entire game and but we never could get anything consistently going offensively. You know, it was all something big or a fake punt or whatever, but it was not a lot of consistency there and couldn't protect again. Kind of the same old story this week. So Texas A&M did a good job, and congratulations to them.
Please raise your hand to ask a question and we'll get a mic to you. Front row on the end first and then right next to you. Oh, here.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about the pressure and obviously that played a big role in the 3 turnovers and stuff. What were they doing and why was it so difficult? I know they're talented.
I don't think, you know, in protection game, it's got to be 1-on-1, then 2-on-2, then 5-on-5, then 6-on-6, you know, and you kind of progress that way in teaching your protections. Early in the game, we were getting, well, a bunch of the game we were getting beat on it, you know, it was getting beat 1-on-1. And then what happens, you start getting that way. They really didn't do anything different. They did bring a boundary smoke forward to a side, which they didn't cross face in an empty protection. But other than that, not a lot of things that were different. So it wasn't like we were turning them loose. It was just we were having a difficult time of blocking them. And then what happens, especially if you start the game like that, then the quarterback gets happy feet and sometimes validated and sometimes probably not. Maybe try to get the ball out of his hand faster, but they were really good. And I thought tonight that they were probably as good as I thought they were coming in. I was hoping they might not be that way and that we'd play a little bit better.
Looked like coming out of halftime, you were maybe trying to move Jalen a little bit and throw some quick stuff. Yeah. What was the discussion at halftime, talking about trying to beat some of that stuff?
Yeah, trying to get the ball outside either with him, and of course Bobby ran a little truck play with him as well. They slanted to that side. We got beat on a couple of down blocks out there, and we lost 5 yards on that particular play. But we were just trying to move the pocket a little bit, and hopefully he could get on the edge and have a run pass option. We also thought that was the way to go in the run game, so we tossed the ball out there a little bit with a little bit of truck down and pull with a toss that we did with Braylon. Just seemed like tonight we had guys coming in and out, and you know, seemed like I talked to Dave more than what I have normally on guys cramping or getting hurt. So it was a very physical game, but that's what we tried to do. Was going to try to move the pocket a little bit more, and I thought it helped us. Then when you get into, you know, the 2-minute and things like that, you know, it's hard to move the pocket and throw the ball a long way down the field.
Yeah, Sam, I had a couple kind of follow up on Taylor. You said, you know, like earlier this week, you need to give him some help. How tough a situation is he in? Because it seems like he's running, you know, for his life a lot.
Well, I think he's in a tough situation, you know, I do. But it's our job to try to find out how we can score points and make yards with him. And but it's frustrating because I didn't feel like, you know, it was any better than what it was a week ago. The difference is we had 10 more last week, we had 4 less this week, and so it certainly feels different. But as far as the result on the field, didn't really look a whole lot different, I didn't think. And again, if it's something new, now you can correct it. But there wasn't a whole lot of new out there that we hadn't seen.
I want to ask about the fakes. Obviously, the fake punt worked really well. Is that something you saw during the week? Or could you maybe go through that and then obviously
Yeah.
the field goal?
Yeah.
didn't work. You can talk about.
Well, the fake punt was just a green light for Devon. And so we had seen that they turned their back, and I trust the guy. And so we just said, hey, if they turn their back and you feel like you can get the 15 yards, take off. And he did, man, he did a freaking phenomenal job with that big play. We ended up, scoring a touchdown, I believe, off of that drive. The fake field goal, we had exactly the same look that they had shown over there. The problem was they normally drop the two outside guys. And we were trying to run Landon on a fake pass, and we knew the guy would go with him. We could run him into the middle linebacker and then kick out the outside guy, because he always just came up and stopped. It was this exact same look, except they rushed off the edge, which they hadn't shown this year. And on a tackle over situation to the boundary, and they rushed and they got us on it. I think the field goal was maybe 49 or 50 yards and on the right hash. And obviously I felt like we'd make it, or, I wouldn't have called it, but we didn't. So I wish we would have.
Sam, Taylor, I think 41 passes, and you guys only had 29 runs. Maybe was that part of the game plan coming in, that maybe you thought you might have more success passing it, or did it maybe get away at that balance from you in the game?
I think it just got away from us because we weren't having great success on first down running the football, and they got away with us. And of course, you had at the end of the game, you're throwing it, so that would skew it a little bit with 2 minutes and all that. But no, we weren't having a lot of success on the ground. So certainly part of that is, Taylor being able to run the football, out of the pocket, and some of those undesigned runs. But no, we came in, I thought Bobby had a really good plan and Eric and those guys of running the football. It just, we weren't having very much success.
And y'all's run defense did so well until late in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter. What was the key to stopping them early? And then, what did they make an adjustment then maybe?
Well, I don't know that they made a lot of adjustment besides their kids blocked a little bit better. The running backs ran a little bit harder maybe. They went at us late in the game where they were running a little bit on the outside, running more stretch plays early in the half, and early in the third quarter, they started going at us late in the game and had more success with it. But, we did run a couple of cross dogs inside, and we got misfitted a time or two that when they broke a decent gain. But it'd be hard for me to be disappointed in defense besides, we missed a tackle to give up a big one, and then the 75-yard. Once we went up 3 that drive, they did a good job, A&M. We helped them with some penalties as well.
They played a lot of field position in the second quarter. Kept hitting you deep, and it paid off, I guess, when they blew up the match. How big did kind of that sequence turn into?
Well, it was big. It seemed like we started every drive around the 10-yard line. It just seemed like that. And if we got to the 25, we felt like, man, we're really got good position. The problem was we weren't doing anything offensively either, so, we have to, convert. We did convert a couple of first down, and then it seemed like we'd stall, but it just seemed like we would stop them defensively, but they would kick us down to the 10, or we'd get a couple first downs, we'd punt to them, and then, it ended up several times in a row where we had 90 yards. which doesn't mean that you can't go 90 yards. It just meant we didn't. And if we ever did, we would change the field position, but we just never could.
The series down here ended up pretty lopsided in
Yeah.
their favor. You happen to be going to campus next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were 1-9 in that stretch. And for the most part, I think most of them were about like today, but, and with the same result. That's what's really, really frustrating because, they found a way to win and we didn't, because I don't know that they're gonna sit over there and be extremely happy with, I'm not talking for coach, with their offensive performance, you know what I mean? And maybe they are, but they found a way to win and we didn't. So but that's happened a few times here, and it's just really disappointing for the kids.
Sam, a couple of guys that you said you wanted to get the ball to more were Tisla and Has. Tisla, what did you think of his performance today? And then
Man.
did Has get banged up there?
He did. I mean, he came in the game with a back. We felt like he could get through the game. Obviously could not. Tesla, I love Tesla. Well, I love them all, but Tesla's just one of the heartbeats of the program. Never says anything if he's not getting balls and all of that, but very, very valuable. Just a great kid. Yeah, I thought he played an excellent game, not only catching the ball, but blocking on the perimeter as well.
And then on the Texas A&M's go-ahead drive, I think you had most of your backups along the defensive line. In hindsight, do you wish you maybe had the starters in there for that critical drive, or is it
Well,
just a rotation?
Well, we felt like the fresh guys were going to play better. I'll have to look at the tape to see, exactly how those guys played, or if we didn't fit at linebacker, or the safeties didn't fit. But in hindsight, I wish we'd stopped them, and we obviously felt like the guys we had in the game were capable of doing it.
There were a couple snap issues in the first half, and it seemed like it calmed down in the second half. Just what did you see maybe from, Addison's performance today?
I just think that he took some off the snap, most time it's when he goes to his left, but, yeah, he had the one down there on the far end zone, on our end zone, that I can remember. I don't know about the other one, but the one was definitely wide, and I talked to him, and Eric talked to him, and there's one too many we gotta get fixed. He's trying awful hard. He's a good kid, but we gotta have consistency there.
Coach, the last time we talked about some of the tackling issues, there was some talk about having practiced, a lot of guys weren't great, and so it's hard to be physical. Do you feel like that's still something that's contributing to some of the tackling problems, or what would you credit that with?
Oh, I don't think we had a whole lot of tackling problems, to be honest with you. I think we tackled pretty good today. Now, we had one out there on the edge, and the guy goes however far he went. But I mean, guys are going to miss tackles. I felt like, to answer your question, I felt like we've done better the last 2 weeks than we certainly did against UAB, and I believe we'll continue to do that. I like the kids. I like their effort. I like how they're getting coached. You want to get a guy on the ground every single time, and I understand and respect your question, but I do think we're headed the right direction in our tackling.
Then we saw Landon Jackson break through for a couple sacks for the first time. Just how good was that to see? What was
Oh, man.
for him?
Yeah, that was good. I think it probably felt good for him, as a guy blocking him was a good player as well. And so I was proud of him, happy for him, and it helped the team.
Sam, their quarterback, Reed, kind of followed his MO. He didn't turn the ball over. What do you think of him and the fact, I guess 3-0 turnovers was probably the biggest thing of the game?
You look at him and have a lot of respect for him and his family. We recruited him as well, but he organized when they went down and beat Florida, handed the ball off, made a few throws, and then he did a little bit more last week, did a little bit more to win the game today. I think their offensive line is pretty good, especially even though we gave them probably a little bit more trouble than others have. But he managed the game. He's got, seems like he's got ice in his veins, for a young kid like that. So I thought he did a really good job for him.
That's what I hear about.
Sam, you guys have been traveling all over the place, finally get to be at home for a while, but you got all these Tennessee coming in, all these other ranked teams. How do you feel about finally gonna get home, but man, pretty brutal schedule?
Yeah, excited though. I mean, excited to play University of Tennessee at home. Like you said, we've been, I think, 4 out of 5 on the road, and it'll be home. It'll be nice to get back home. We've got a good football team. We just didn't score as many. We got to figure out. We got to continue to work on how to win these games, and I expect our team to be ready to play and our fans to be ready to support us and help us with crowd noise and all that. But it'll be nice to get back home.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.